Hey everybody, it's Ron over here at Becoming Enlightened Together. Just did a tarot spread for today, 9-card reading. Now we're going to go ahead and do a overall weekly energy read with the runes. I might do another tarot spread later, depending on how much time I have left. But the overall encompassing energy for this week, which is the 14th to the 20th, is Mighty Freya's rune. Now the Goddess Freya is the consort to Odin. Of course, he's the lead god in the Norse pantheon, if you will, gods and goddesses. Now, what this stands for, and this is for the overall energy for the week, is abundance, generally speaking. So, cattle, wealth, fulfillment, material gain, and possessions, won or earned. Talks about earned income, talks about financial strength either now or in the very near future. It talks about a sign of hope and plenty. It talks about fertility, energy, both creation and destruction, similar to the mighty Jiva, in the Hindu belief system. So that's the overall energy for the entire week. Now let's go ahead and break it down by day. Now the energy that we get for today, which is Sunday the 14th, is Radho, but it's in the reverse. Okay? Now, Radho in the upright generally speaks of the blessed journey. So, what does it mean in the reverse? Well, it's one of those runes, one of two actually, that speaks about the possibility of death in its reverse state. So, again, we've been seeing this for weeks, no, months actually, come out. So, again, a physical, tangible death somehow, in some way, in our lives, somebody within our energetic sphere of influence, and I believe it to be somebody who is embodying the karmic energy, because that's what I'm seeing here, is their time is almost up. And we're not rejoicing in that. We don't take great pleasure in that. They may have solicited this through a lot of very, very difficult and negative energetic outbursts towards you, whether it was openly or perhaps, behind closed doors, black magic and things of that nature, But anyways, what we're talking about, in the reverse, Radho talks about an upset of plans and delays, talks about unexpected travels, perhaps, being forced to move, feeling lost and in crisis, a sense of feeling rigid, not wanting to move, or a state of stasis, being static. Feeling a sense of injustice, irrationality, lack of discretion, disruptions, dislocations, as I stated already, demotion. Perhaps you were either demoted at the job, or perhaps you were fired at the job, and being in a delusional state. So again, these are all very low vibrational or karmic energies we're talking about, and that's the energy for today. So somebody that you know or you yourself are having a very difficult day indeed. Now Monday's energy, a little more positive, is Othala. Othala in the upright. Okay. Now Othala in the upright talks about home, house, dwelling, property, inherited properties, spiritual or your heritage, gain, things of that nature. Talks about ancestral property, possessions, heritage, that which is truly important to you yourself or a group. Group order, group prosperity, the land of your birth, spiritual heritage, I believe I already stated that, but experience and fundamental values. It talks about aid in spiritual and physical journeys at this time, and a source of safety, increase, and abundance. So all in all, it talks about both spiritual and materialistic abundance being a part of your forecast for tomorrow. Now Tuesday, we got a less positive rune. We have Wunyo, but Wunyo is in the reverse. It looks like a P, sort of. Okay, but again, it's in the reverse. So Wunyo in reverse talks about a feeling of dissatisfaction, misery, fear, and strife. It talks about impatience and being headstrong. It talks, again, feeling sorrowful and alienated, maybe being in a time of what we call hermit mode, being isolated and alone. So also, again, feeling delirious, possibly being intoxicated. And it also talks about possession, real possession, demonic possession. We're talking about Linda Blair, re-exorcist possession type of thing. I don't know if your head is spinning around or their head is spinning around, or if this is just, something that they had opened up due to a lot of, dealings with dark endeavors, their black magic and so on. Now these things have set up house, so to speak, in your vessel. All right. So you're feeling also a raging frenzy, and perhaps if people were to observe you, they would look at you as being somebody going berserk. Okay. So that's the energy for Tuesday. For Wednesday, what we have is Ewas, but it too is in the reverse. Ewas, which is typically looks like the letter M, which is actually the letter E in their alphabet, stands for long journeys. Okay, it talks about sudden changes again, timing being off, craved change in your life. It talks about feeling restless or confined in a situation. It talks about perhaps reckless haste, a sense of mistrust and disharmony, as well as betrayal. Again, all low vibrational energies. So I'm assuming these are people that are within your energetic sphere of influence. People that you may or may not be actually socializing with, but people that you know. Okay? Hopefully this is not the collective. The collective shouldn't be in this low state of vibration. Even if you're having a hard time right now, you should always be able to find some light. Okay? Now, Thursday's energy, again, is the mighty goddess Freya's rune, but this time it's in the reverse, as you can see, upside down. Now, in the reverse, what we're talking about is greed, loss, having money problems instead of gain, arguments, loss of property or self-esteem, losing something that you put a lot of effort into keeping, failure of some sort, maybe feeling burnt out, a sense of atrophy, discord, cowardice, dullness, feeling stupid or acting stupid, poverty, slavery, and bondage. Very, very low vibrational, very negative, state of energy to be within. Okay, so whether you created this state for yourself or through circumstances because of your bad decisions, you found yourself in this state. Here we are. So Friday's energy is Berkana. Berkana is actually in the reverse. Okay, now Berkana is also the rune of the birch tree, or the birch goddess known as Birchta. So it talks about, typically in the upright, the great mother and so on, but in the reverse it talks about family problems or family needs, family wants, worry, anxiety, worrying about somebody in your family or somebody that's close to you. Domestic problems and issues. Maybe you and your spouse are fighting, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. So carelessness and abandon is also part of this energy. A loss of control. Blurring of one's consciousness. Deception. Possibly sterility. If you're trying to have children, and maybe this is the source of some of this negative energy. You're unable to conceive. If that's the case, my sympathies. And feeling stagnant, not able to move. For Saturday's energy, what we have is Manas. Manas 2 is in the reverse. So even though the overall energy for the week is very positive and one of abundance, per day we're seeing some struggles. Now this could be a reflection of you versus them kind of a thing. So for Saturday's energy, with Manas in the reverse, we're talking again low vibrational energy, selfishness, being uninvolved with others, a victim mentality, egoism, loneliness and depression, sense of mortality. Remember, we saw the possibility of death on Sunday with Radho in the reverse. We're also talking about being, again, delusional, cunning, slyness and manipulation. Somebody who's feeling crafty and calculated. That person or people, you can expect no help right now. Not from the gods, not from your ancestors, or from others for that matter. This is a situation you've created, and apparently you've had a lot of warnings to get yourself out of, and you have more or less ignored them. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm seeing here. For the collective as a whole, again, even though the runes tend to tell us a lot more about what the collective or the people that are in the life of the collective are going through, and only signifying the, if you will, the highlights of your particular energy, which of course seems to be one of materialistic strength, abundance coming your way and so on, where simultaneously the karmics in our life are being stripped of their wealth, their gifts, and their materialistic, well, they were gifts. They took them for granted. They used them for wrong, and now they're being taken away. So they are a lesson for us to consider, when things go really, really well, we tend to not think so much about things that are truly important in this world, sometimes including, other people's needs, wants, and so on. So hopefully, and generally speaking, the collective does consider the needs of others. So with the gifts that you're going to be blessed with, don't forget that money grows by moving it. So be charitable. Don't give all of your possessions away. It's not what I'm saying, but make sure that you give through your abundance to others who have need, especially in this time of the year, okay? Not that you need me to preach to you about that. You wouldn't be part of the collective if you didn't already have these, traits, characteristics, and attributes already. So I just want you to know that you're being recognized because of those qualities of you, that you've shown that you have them, where those who are in the karmic energy have proven quite the opposite. They lack those qualities, and they're being forced to sit down right now and to reflect on that. Okay? So pray for them, of course, if you're prone to do so, but certainly do not mock them in their downfall. Okay, that could have been you, or it could be you in the future. Who knows? Depends on how you handle these gifts. So, Anyway, that's all I have for this week, guys. Overall, it's one of abundance for you. And again, it's a reminder to those who have worked against you very passionately that, you are a child of the Most High. And for them to come against you is the ultimate, wrong. I'll just leave it at that. And now they're going to be punished as a result of that. You've gone through your time of trial and tribulation. Now it's their turn. Okay? Your time of reward. So with that being said, and on that happier note, hopefully, I wish you all victory. And of course, much, much later on, I will see you in Valhalla. Take care.